not just here in the Philippines, but in all corners of the world. So we will be answering your questions. So we previously gathered your questions from the previous broadcast, but your e-questions, please keep them coming in because we will answer them as we go along. So we compiled all these questions, the more common questions that you've had, and we're trying to give as much information. The more information you have, less kaba, less takot, hopefully will ensue from this. So keep your questions coming. We will all get to them. So let's go for it. Let's go for the first one. One of the most common questions are, what are the symptoms of COVID-19? So COVID-19, some of the more typical symptoms that you might have for this is, you might hear this a lot, flu-like symptoms. Ano ba ito? Ubo. Meron kayong sore throat or may pananakit sa lalamunan, mahapde ang lalamunan. Meron kayong sakit ng ulo or headache, and you can also have a fever. So ano bang classifications ng fever? Ang fever, pag kumuha kayo ng temperature nyo, 38 degrees or above, you already have a fever because your normal body temperature is around 37. Okay, so those are the most common symptoms that one may have for COVID-19. So another question is, aside from flu symptoms, what is the specific sign that will tell us that it is a case and that I need immediate medical attention? Magandang tanong yan. So ang tanong is, bukod sa mga simptomas na sinabi ko na parang lagnat o ubo, ano ang pwedeng senyales o ano yung sign na masasabing delikado na or emergency case na ito at kailangan kong pumunta sa ospital? So, for these types of symptoms, if you have those mild symptoms that I mentioned, but accompanied by difficulty of breathing, mahirap huminga, masikip ang dibdib, o nahirapan na kayong huminga, that is already a sign na kailangan ko yung pumunta sa doktor or sa emergency room. Bukod doon, pwede rin ang lagnat. Ang lagnat, mas mataas sa 38 degrees Celsius, pumunta na kayo sa doktor. So you can have both, mataas ang lagnat at nahirapang huminga, masikip ang dibdib, nahirapang huminga, or you can either just have one or the other. Pwedeng mataas ang lagnat lang or ubo. Okay? Next question is, how do you know that your symptoms are not an allergic reaction? Okay, so an allergic reaction can be identified. So ang unang tatanungin nyo para malaman kung ito ay allergic reaction ba ito or COVID-19, a good way to know is kung meron kayong lagnat. Yun yung una. Pag meron kayong lagnat, tanungin nyo ulit sa sarili nyo or examine nyo sarili nyo kung meron kayong shortness of breath or nahirapan kayong huminga. Pag meron kayong symptoms na ito, pwede ring accompanied by other things such as ubo, pwedeng nangihina ang katawan nyo, pwede kayong nagkakaroon ng fatigue, pwede kayong affected with COVID-19. Now, if you ask yourself again, meron kayong lagnat pero wala kayong, hindi kayo nahirapan huminga, wala kayong paninikip ng dibdib, pwedeng lagnat or ubo lang ito. So this is the importance again of your self-quarantine of 14 days. Ngayon, kapag ang tanong sa inyo is kung meron kayong lagnat at ang sagot nyo ay wala naman akong lagnat, ngunit meron kayong mga ibang simptomas katulad ng tumutulong sipon or nangangating inyong mga mata, pwedeng ito ay isang allergic reaction. So that's one of the ways na pwede nyo ma-distinguish kung allergic reaction ba ito or hindi. Okay, we have a question here from Renz. Is it true that the virus only lives in 15 to 20 days, and if it has not been transferred to other people, it will die, and this is the reason why we are enforcing the home quarantine? So, with this question, I assume if it lives in 15 to 20 days outside of the, if it's outside of the body, most likely this virus cannot survive without a host. A host is meaning tayo, bilang tao, ano? Ang virus na ito ay hindi pwedeng mabuhay na wala sa isang katawan ng tao, ano? So 15 to 20 days is not likely for this virus to survive outdoors. Ngayon, pwede ba itong manatili sa katawan natin for 15 to 20 days? Only lives in 15 to 20 days. Depende ito ulit sa immune system ng ating katawan. So if the virus enters us, our immune system this will try to control this virus, ano? So that is the way in which our body tries to fight this. Ngayon, yung follow-up question nila is it is not transferred to other people, it will die, and this is the other reason we're enforcing the home quarantine. The reason why we are doing the home quarantine, ang rason kung bakit tayong lahat, kasama na ako doon, na nag-home quarantine tayong lahat, well, kasama sa pagtulong ng gobyerno at ng DOH, is for us to know if we will have symptoms, because this virus, when it enters us, will show symptoms within around 5 to 10 days, roughly. So this 14-day window that we are told to stay at home is for us to see if we will show symptoms of the virus. If we show symptoms of this virus, we have to classify it again. Kailangan natin malaman kung anong klaseng mga simptomas na qualified ba ito para maging COVID-19. Because if at 14 days wala tayong nilabas na symptoms, most likely hindi natin siya mayahawa, or mas mababa ang risk natin na maikalat itong virus. So that's the purpose of this home quarantine that we are all doing, is to prevent the spread of the virus. Okay, we have another question from Mil. PUI po ang asawa ko pero hindi po siya na-test. Ano ang gagawin namin kasi may baby kami, maliit pa baby namin. Okay, so person under investigation ang asawa ni Mil pero hindi po siya tinest. Ang reason kung bakit hindi siya most likely tinest is because ang simptomas na ine-exhibit ng inyong asawa are minor or minimal symptoms lang. What are the minimal symptoms? These are cough, sore throat, a headache, maybe a slight fever na ilang araw lang siya maglalast. Kaya siya hindi tinest because our test kits are very limited. So these test kits are reserved for those with symptoms which are in the moderate or even critical stage already, ano? Ano ang gagawin namin kasi may baby kami, maliit pa baby namin. So far, as much as possible, we have to stay at home, keep your husband in isolation, and wait for those 14 days if he becomes better. Ano? Kung gumaling siya ng sarili niya, most likely ito ay regular trangkaso or flu lamang. Okay, we also want to answer a question we have a question from Caroline. Is it true that COVID-19 is airborne now? So, this is based on recent reports, even the DOH released one that COVID-19 has the possibility of becoming airborne. May mga latest studies from the WHO that shows that it is possible for COVID-19 to become airborne at very ideal conditions, certain conditions. That is why sinabi na mas kompleto itong conditions na ito para maging airborne si COVID-19 sa mga hospital settings. So, in general, we still will treat COVID-19 as a droplet type of infection. There are initial studies that it can become airborne, but it is all upisa lang. Ibig sabihin, preliminary studies pa lang. Okay, so itong airborne term na tinatawag may cause some confusion. So what the WHO wanted to say is that COVID-19 is still droplets right now, but these droplets may linger in the air for at least 3 hours. So it has the potential to be it has a potential to move like an airborne type of virus. So hopefully that clears up some of the confusion. Okay. So other questions, keep those questions coming. We will still try and answer as much questions as we can. So moving on to another question. Okay. Dapat ba umabot sa critical symptoms, I guess, before i-test ang isang tao? Hindi po. Merong criteria na dapat gampanan ang isang pasyente na para siya ma-test. So one of these is nahihirapan na siyang huminga, meaning the patient falls into moderate to critical symptoms. The reason why this is done is napakalimitado po ang ating test kits dito sa Pilipinas. So it is very important that the ones who receive the test are doing, or yung mga tao, yung mga pasyente na nagpapakita ng simptomas na mas malaking chance ang COVID-19 ito. Okay? That is one of the main reasons. Ang gusto natin talaga, kung in an ideal world, lahat tayo maita-test lahat tayo. But it is just so limited. These test kits are very limited. So, if you fall into those categories of having cough, cold, headache, difficulty breathing, that already entails you to go to the doctor for a possible test. You may qualify for that test. But it doesn't mean na kailangan critical ka na bago ka bigyan ng COVID-19 test. Okay. And we have another question from Lau who wants to know, ano ba ang gamot sa COVID-19? Okay, very good question. A lot of people are asking this as well. Let me stress this. Wala pang cure, wala pang gamot specifically for the COVID-19. Wala pa tayong vaccine para sa COVID-19. All the medications that are being given are those to support the immune system ng tao. Ang immune system, ang lakas ng resistensya ng katawan ng tao, ang siya pa rin ang magpapagaling ng katawan. So, there are other trials. I'm sure you may have seen from other countries. They're using different medications, even medications used for other viruses. These are all in the preliminary stage. Wala pang standard. Kumbaga, wala pang standard na gamutan ang COVID-19. And another question we have is, do I need to go to the doctor right away if I have some symptoms? So, the answer to that is no. If you have mild symptoms, cough, I'll repeat this over and over again. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. If you have cough, colds, headache, a fever, those symptoms, you do not need to go to a doctor right away. Self-quarantine muna yon, 14 days. Kapag yung simptomas na yon, ay hindi gumaling in 3 to 4 days, then you can go to a doctor. But go to a doctor first. I stress that. Go to a doctor, medical practitioner. You do not need to go to the emergency room. The doctors in the emergency room are at their maximum already, trying to treat as many people as they can with the best quality as they can offer. So if we can help them by trying to check ourselves, panatiling aware tayo kung anong meron tayo sa katawan, mas maganda yon, hindi ba? We have another question. Marami ang nagtatanong, can we get infected by COVID-19 twice? Ang pag-infect ng COVID-19 ng pangalawang beses, or what is called a reinfection, as of now, we are still treating COVID-19, which is a coronavirus, similar to other viruses. Meaning, kapag ang isang tao ay gumaling sa COVID-19, meron na po siyang mga antibodies na makakapagprotekta sa tao sa reinfection. So we still do not know. That being said, we still do not know. Hindi pa natin alam dahil napakabago pa nitong COVID-19 kung gaano katagal itong mga antibodies sa isang tao na gumaling. So pwedeng protektado siya pero hindi pa natin alam kung gaano pa katagal. Okay. Another question. Limited ba talaga ang mga test kits